So the seventh of the philosophies or skills, the real word here is skills for negotiation. The seventh one is problem solving. You have to be able to solve problem because negotiation is trying to solve a problem. Again, we'll say in a negotiation, there are people or organizations, and there is a problem to be solved and the process of solving it, right? Negotiation is pretty much a process of solving it. And so we need to be able to solve the problem. So problem solving is essentially a learnable process of identifying what the challenge is, determining what's the root cause of the issue, and implementing effective solutions. So we determine what the root cause is, is the real problem here, not the symptoms. We're not trying to address the symptoms, we're trying to address the root cause of the issue, and we implement effective solutions to it such that everybody's happy at the end of the day. So key steps in problem solving include you have to define the issue, you have to break it into smaller parts, we brainstorm on how to solve it, we analyze options to it, and we take actions on what the options are. Core strategies involved using the five whys for root cause analysis, where we're asking why this, why this, why this. Hopefully will get us to the root cause, not just the symptoms. And we could utilize also the SWOT analysis, understanding the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And we can use that to compare the options we come up with. And we can then break this up into effective solutions in moving forward, right? Um, so problem solving focuses really on collaborative, integrated strategies to expand the pie and meet underlying interest. So we're trying to solve a problem, and it's all about making what is available, big enough that everybody can get a share from it and be happy. It's not a zero-sum game where everybody's what is available is scarce and everybody just trying to get their own, fighting to make sure they get. No, at the end of the day, everybody would get something. That's all part of problem solving, creating enough, for that everybody gets a fair share that they're happy with at the end of the day. So the eighth skill in problem solving is decision making ability to make decisions. Not being able to make a decision really could stall anything in life, including negotiations. So that's why typically you need people on ground who can make decisions. When you're negotiating, not people that will just hold on to one thing. And that happens in some of our meetings where especially in Africa, where the person that holds the decision is not in the room. And people in the room are pretty much leaning to whatever they've been told before coming to the meeting. And really, they're not negotiating, they're only just holding on to the position or the mandate they've been given, before coming to the room you know but you need to be able to make decisions. Even if you've been given a mandate, you need to make that mandate clear enough in the room, and if that mandate is not enough, know when to go back to renegotiate the mandate that been given. So decision making, it's an important skill, in negotiating, so otherwise you'll be stalled because the people would not be able to either know when to stop, when to agree, disagree, and the facts to be useless if you can't make decisions. All right. So people in negotiations are able to evaluate the information that's given to them. They're able to manage their emotions, right? Again, we say the more the emotions, the less rational a person is. So they're able to manage their emotions in such a way that they can be rational, about the things being discussed. So they use structured frameworks to make sound choices, such as they need to define the problem, identify alternatives, and they can leverage, the best alternative to achieve favorable and sustainable outcomes, right? So That's all part of decision making. So decision making is a cognitive process of selecting a course of action from multiple alternatives to solve a problem or achieve a goal, right? You're able to select a course of action from different options. So it involves evaluating the information that you have, weighing the risk, and considering the consequence of each option. You consider the consequence of each option, and you then pick the one that is best, for everyone. So effective decision making combines rational analysis with emotional intelligence and creative thinking. That means you're able to regulate your emotions enough to be able to keep you rational. And also you regulate the emotion of the other party also, just so that everybody can make a rational decision, from the negotiation. Number nine, in terms of the skills, for effective negotiation includes interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills is so what we call people skills or soft skills. I just skills around behaving, relating with other people. They are the behaviors, communication abilities, and personality traits used to interact effectively and build relations with others. And this is very important. This is very important in the workplace. It's not about what you know. It's not about what you can do. It's about how you can do it with other people. That is rated above every other one. That's why emotional intelligence today is loud, in the business world, because it's important that you can work with other people. If you want to make it anywhere in the marketplace, you need to be able to work with other people. So you need the soft skills, being able to relate with people above you, your peers, and people below you, So soft skills include ability to listen, active listening, empathy, teamwork, conflict management, adaptability, rapport building, and clear communication. All of those are important, if you want to negotiate. If you're in a same room trying to negotiate with people, you must be able to relate to them. And that's what I do. I come into a room to negotiate with people I respect. I respect the humanity in the people I'm negotiating with. And that's always worked for me. Once you respect people, they're willing to listen to you. But once you treat them as tools, or people lower than you, or people that you are better than, you're gonna have a stalemate. You're not gonna get that negotiation through because they're not gonna listen to you. But when you treat people as fellow human beings, it takes away the barrier, and they're more receptive to what you have to say, right? That's worked for me in big, big negotiations, and we're talking about a lot of money. Easy to get the approval when you treat the other people in the room as humans, like you are, right? And so soft skills are essentially for separating people from the problem. You treat people like fellow human beings, and they're going to treat you the same way, and the problem is not going to stand between you. So these skills allow negotiators to understand the other party's interests, manage emotions, build trust, facilitating better long-term relationship, and ultimately more successful outcome. So it is important to have people skills, soft skills if you're going to negotiate, all right? And the last of the 10 effective negotiation skills is what we call ethics and reliability. You and that goes in line with trust also. So the ethical standards and reliability involve honesty, fairness, integrity to build trust and long-term value, rather than relying on deception or manipulation for short-term gain, right? Yeah, it's not about the short term, it's about the long term. You don't deceive the person you're negotiating with. If later they find out you deceived them, yeah, so they're going to be looking for a way to get back at you, right? And I've been in there, and one time I wasn't promoted, and I went to ask the rank and file, and they all saying things that didn't make sense, and that's how I've seen them the last how many years is that? 20 years. The last 20 years, I've just pretty much put them aside. Not 2020, last 26 years, 26 years, and I've just seen them as people that had lack integrity, but that's important. Ethical negotiators prioritize transparency, respect, and mutual beneficial outcome. That's important. You want to be friend for life. You don't want someone to look back, whether today or later on when they grow up and say, oh, this man cheated me when I didn't know much. This man did not respect our long-term relationship. He abused what he had against me. He knew more, so he abused his knowledge in our time together. I get to negotiate in different spheres, with government officials, um, today I do it with our contractors and all of that, and I do it in a way that is it's long term. 10 years from now, nobody's going to wake up, oh, I woke up from that slumber. Oh, he cheated me or something like that. Now I'm not a con person. Negotiations are done for long-term relationship that someone tomorrow will not say, you had one against that because of your advantage, because they were less than you or had less experience than you. It's got to be a fair game.